Yes, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Once again, it is Wednesday night when we come to your house, we come to your home, we come into your phone, through your computer, and we just come to let you know that this is time for you to open up your heart. Because in Open Talk, we open up our hearts. This is your pastor and your friend, Bishop Mark Karaoke, for a long time, coming to you through this Open Talk channel or program. As we go through our program tonight, I pray that your eyes would be opened up and you will capture what the Lord is saying to you, because I know God knows you by your name. And he knows exactly where you are. He knows exactly what you are going through. So he chooses people, different people, to bring to Open Talk. As they open up their story, you also receive something. Yours is also opened, and you are taken to the next level. So Open Talk is founded on the Word of God. And our aim is to be an encouragement to somebody, is to bring information to somebody, to bring open opportunities to somebody listening to us. And that somebody could be you. So all the guests that we bring come in and they give us their story, and out of that story, many lives are being transformed. Businesses are being birthed. Opportunities are being revealed and captured. And tonight could be your night. Tonight I have a very, very special couple visiting with us, coming to us with Open Talk, and you will enjoy their story. You'll enjoy their story. Just open up together with us as they open up. And tonight I have some real good business people. So if you have a business mind or a business taste, you get ready. I have Mr. and Mrs. Jeff and Jane Ndegwa. I know them very well. They're members of the House of the Majestic City. And Jeff John Ndegwa is the CEO and director of Kinde Engineering Works Limited. That's a family business, and he is the driver. He's the one who is driving that vehicle and doing very well. And Jen, his wife Jane Naito Ndegwa, is the CEO and director of Charis Barak is Barak Limited. Barak is Hebrew Limited, and Giamini Motorcycle Spares. That's wisdom. You know, with the appearing of many motorcycles, you've got to know these motorcycles will need some repair. And I pray that wisdom will come to you. So Jane, thank you so much for this company of Giamini Motorcycle Spares. So if you need some spares, I will show you where to go for your motorbike. You don't say live. Okay, I'll ask that. I will ask that later on. But welcome to the program.
Thank you.
This is Open Talk, and you just feel free, just open up and just talk to the people. Maybe you can start by saying Jambo to the audience.
Jambo, and possibly I take this opportunity first to honor you, Bishop. Thank you for this opportunity. You have been our father. You have walked with us on this journey, and we bless the Lord this moment. Jambo to the listeners. We are here. You are going to enjoy our journey. Me and my wife, Jane, for how God has enabled us to currently to this state. Thank you very much. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Jane, why don't you say Jambo to the viewers?
Jambo, our viewers, how are you? My name is Jane Ndegwa, and I'm born again. Thank you so much, Bishop, for having us here this evening. I believe the listeners and the viewers will have something that they will take home from this talk tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. You know, you remind me of the 70s. In the 70s, when you met with somebody, you introduce yourself. My name is Mark Karaoke, and I am born again. How about you? Are you born again? That was what we were for. We were out there witnessing full throttle. Meet with anybody. Hey, my name is Mark Karaoke. I am born again. Are you born again? You need to be born again. Jesus said, and we just hit it on that. And we saw so many people getting born again. Well, I want to say thank you so much for accepting our invitation to come and be with us for during this Open Talk. Open Talk is a program where we just talk. We just feel anger free. You talk or I talk, or we hear one another, and we move on. And through Open Talk, many lives have been transformed. Many lives have been changed. Many people have been helped. So as we go through your story, there's some of those little details which you think are not important, but that's what will touch somebody, and somebody will identify with your story and realize, oh, so I can also rise up. Because you see, the season in which we are, this post-COVID season, is a season where people are coming out of discouragement, and some are still in discouragement and don't know how to start anything. And you guys are starters.
Yes.
You guys are starters. So you will help us in that. So maybe I start by asking you this question.
Yes.
Who is Jeff Ndegwa?
Jeff Joanari Ndegwa. I'm an entrepreneur. I am skilled and trained in several training. Currently, I'm the CEO of Kind Engineering Works, which is a family business. We do fiber optic rollout and telecommunication solutions, not only here in Kenya, but also in other countries in Africa. I'm married to one wife, and I'm a father to 4 children. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's great. I'm excited about the business going out to other countries.
Yes.
And who is Jane Naito? That's a rare one. That's a very rare one. Jane Naito Ndegwa.
Jane Naito, I'm a mother. We are blessed with 4 children, and I'm also married to one husband who is with me here. And I'm also a director and also a founder of Charis Baraka Limited and Giamini Motorcycles. Yes. We are based in Nairobi. That is where our business is located, but we do business outside Nairobi also. Yeah.
Oh, has anybody ever told you that Naito is very rare? It's a very rare name.
Most people direct me with a Maasai. Yeah, in fact, most people think I'm a Maasai.
I was going to say Soba. I was about to say Soba. Habari no.
Yeah.
You know, in those days, because of whatever used to go, you would find a Maasai or a Kikuyu in the Maasai, and all that. In fact, my mother is called Nyaoshi. And Nyaoshi is not a Kikuyu, it's not a Kikuyu name. I think there is some Dorobo or some Maasai in it. And all that, when we tried to ask, we were told there was some that kind of blood. But I don't want to say that because I don't want the Maasai to think I'm going to look for land in Maasai land. Okay. Yes. So, and where were you born, Jeff?
Yes, Bishop. I was born in Nyeri at a place called Mukurweini. But at first, my parents were here in Nairobi. That actually where I was actually born. But when my father got transferred to go to Nyeri, my father settled us somewhere in Mukurweini. My mother became a farmer and also an entrepreneur in the locality that is in Mukurweini town center called Kiahungu. That is where we were brought up. So my father would go to work every day to Nyeri, from there to Nyeri, and come back every day. So I was actually, I grew up in a village setup. I would go to school, to the neighboring school, a school called Gadkemodo Primary School. That is where I schooled. And I performed very well. And I was admitted to one of the prestigious schools in Nyeri called Kagumo High School. That is why I started realizing myself I was actually in Kagumo High School, and since I had performed very well in high school, in primary school, when I also went to high school, I also was a student, and I also became a leader there as a captain in Kagumo High School. So all through, I later joined university. My preference was to join Nairobi University, but I so happened that I missed some marks of what they wanted to admit me, because I wanted to do an engineering course. They took me to Egerton University, and that is where I did my undergraduate degree. And that is how, in the process of my study, that is how I met my wife.
And how many are you in your family?
We are five. I am the second born. My sister is elder, who is now in US. The second born, and I have a sister who followed me, who is she passed on, and I have other two brothers that are behind me. Yes.
And do you have other engineers, or just you and your dad?
No. Yeah, my brother is a civil engineer.
Oh, your brother is also a civil engineer.
He's a civil engineer. My brother, and my youngest brother is an IT solution provider.
Wow.
He
wow. Okay, Jane. So where were you born?
I was born in a village back in Meru, Kubu Meru, a village called Ndegwa, from a very humble background. That is where I was born, by Mr. and Mrs. Jacob Bijiwe. They are late with my mom. I was born in a family of 6, that is 4 brothers and one sister. I went to a primary school from just a neighboring primary school called Temuende Primary School, from class 1 to class 4. Then from there, I was fortunate to go to a boarding school from class 5 to class 8. Then after class 8, I joined Kaga Girls High School in Meru. Then from there, I joined Egerton University. Yeah, and that is also where I met with my husband.
Oh, yeah. That story I'm interested. that story I'm interested. But before we go to that story, how many were you in your family? Oh, you said you were born in a family.
We were 6, and I was the last born.
Oh, you were the last born?
Yes.
Fear not, I am also the last born.
Yeah.
So it makes the two of us here.
Sure.
Oh, okay. So you have gone to university, you have completed,
yes.
And your father was working in Nyeri.
Yes, my father was working in Nyeri, and at around 1993, there was something they were calling it a golden handshake. I think
yes.
From the parastatals and the government.
And at times I call it the wooden handshake.
the wooden handshake.
That was called golden.
Yeah, golden handshake. And at the time I was joining first year in university. Of course, all the other siblings of mine were in high school, and I was only my sister who had gone to college. And my father one day came home and he said, now, I'm going to take up this whole golden handshake. And what does that tell us? This privilege that you used to get and all that, we are not going to be having, because now I want to start my own company. And at the same time, luckily at that particular time in 1993, he got born again. So after that, when he got born again, and he now retired from his position, here we are at home. So we were wondering now, this was our source of livelihood. I'm joining to university. My mother he had a shop, and she was doing some coffee farming. We had some kind of setup, the normal village setup, but of course we had a bit of money in the normal way of the village setup, and that put a bit of worry in me. And I remember when I left high school and I was at home, the way we used to get some simple basic things, they stopped coming. And at the time I realized that I need to start thinking about what can I do also. Because one of the things that I was not appreciating so much is to go to the farm and toil the whole day and see the result is very little. So I thought possibly I can do business. In Kagumo High School we had a canteen, and I thought if I can think of going to town and buy things and then be buying selling to people. Possibly I'll get more money, and possibly I'll start buying myself a good shoe or a nice trouser, because my parents were a bit conservative. They would buy those traditional dress, so I was not. I was very, very against it. So I needed my own money. And at the time I approached Kiagoma High School. That time it was called Kiagoma High School. Now it's Mokoroini, and I happened to know the headmaster because he used to teach me in Kagoma High School geography, and I was one of his best students. So he told me, I gave him an idea that we can start a canteen here instead of the student going out to look for bread. In the process of looking for bread, they'll buy drugs, cigarette, or anything like that. I start a canteen. You know my character. I was a captain there. I was a house captain in school, and you know my character. So I'll be able to sell the good stuff they need, and they will be able to contain the boys. He's passed that information to the board, and that's how I was given an opportunity to start a canteen. That's
as a student?
No, not as a student. I've already finished Kagoma High School.
Okay.
Now I'm out waiting to go join university.
Okay.
Here I'm stranded. I'm not getting any money. The pocket money my father used to give me is not giving me. He's always putting us to the farm, and I don't have money. And I want to be like other boys, other young men. I want to wear well. I want to have nice shoes. So there were those challenges, and I will see that because he has left work, he's trying to start his business. The money is not coming the way it used to come. The kind of lifestyle we are living is not what used to do. So I thought in my mind I can do business. And luckily, when I came with a proposal to him, he told me, yes, he gave me an opportunity to start a business there, yes. So how much do you need? I thought 8,000 was a lot of money. So I told him, I have calculated the things I would start to buy 8,000. He said, I cannot give you 8,000. You have never heard of it. So he gave me 5,000. And that's how I started my first business in Kiagoma High School. And before I joined university, the business had grown. I started in the neighborhood, that Kiahongo market. I started where I used to buy bread and go and sell. I thought even me, I can have a distributor of bread. We only have one type of bread here. If I go to Ken Breast or another, I can start another one. So I had saved some money, and that's why I started a distributor of bread there.
You became a distributor?
Yes, of bread, and still also now taking to my canteen. And then that time I was not actually born again. So what I would do, I'll also, when I get some money, I'll go to Nyeri town, and I get these people who play music, disco. They had a discotheque and like that. So our time when student there's leavers night, then I'll hire a hall, a social hall there, and I bring those discotheque there. The whole night they'll dance, and then they pay me 50 shillings. They'll give me 50 shillings. So I would collect money. So by the time I was going to university, I had some substantial amount of money.
Wow.
So, but I was telling my father, I don't want to go to university. Now I feel that I have touched the money, but my father will not hear of anything of that. Actually, we became like we are not talking to each other, because he said in his family, people must go to school. So, and I think that's time they took me to Egerton University. I studied there. I did not struggle there. The same mentality of business, I took it to Egerton University. Yes, though we used to fellowship in ACK, and by the fact that in ACK you just you are a church goer, you are an active there. This essence of born again, I know people get born again there, but it had not come the reality to us the way it is in Pentecostal. So I was actually a team leader, youth leader in the ACK there, and sometimes we'd go and people, I'll lead people there. But you see, even I would bring people for disco, they would dance the whole night and all that. So I was still a church goer. So when I went to Egerton University, so I took my business idea there. That time we were being given boom. We used to call him boom. So, and we'd be given 5380, 5,380. So it was a lot of money. And I decided this money, instead of just get this little money and eat it and all that, I can come to Nairobi or Nakuru. I would go to Nakuru. There were those Mali shops that were behind there. I would buy things that students want to use. Like they would want to boil water, so I'll buy immersion heater. I'll buy those accessories, full scarves. you know, the students use stationaries.
Yeah.
So I'll carry that with the money that I've been given, and I go. So when people during the first one month or so, they were not very serious in studies. When the exam is near, that's the time they start studying. So that time we were free. I'll now start going to every room, hooking. And that's the first time I entered into her room. And I always find a very neat room. Very neat, very organized. And I would say, if God one day can bless me with a wife like this one.
You.
Yeah. So
you hold
on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's hear about Jane. Where are you at this time? When all this is going on in his life, where are you? Are you also selling bread in Kahaga?
No. After high school, my brother, my family, they are business people. All my brothers are business people. So during the holidays, I used to sell in my brother's shop. He used to have a spare parts shop at Nkubu. It is still there. So I used to be busy there selling the spare parts for motor vehicle spare parts. He also used to have a garage. It's still there. And after that, I used to be given a small token. Not really, I can't call it a salary, but I used to be given a token. And also, now when I'm going to school, I was sure I'll have pocket money, and my school fees will be sorted. So in the process of that, I also wanted to be neat. That is one thing. So I thought to myself, my home was not very far from town. And in the morning, we used to come with my brothers to town. So there is no transport that I'm using. So I used to, the little money that I used to get, I used to buy some stuff and then carry it home. Then I would sell from our sitting room. And somehow I used to have a lot of favor. People used to come from, my neighbors used to come to buy the sugar, the wheat flour, anything from home. So during the day when I'm at work, maybe they would come and find my mom or my dad. Wanauziwa tu. Then from there, I also used to do a little, my mom used to be a business person also. She used to sell in the market, mainly farm produce. So in the process, I used to plant things like, she used to encourage me to do some farming, and then she sell those things for me. I didn't used to go to the market. So after selling, she used to give me the money back. Then after that, I joined university. In the university, I did not do anything like business or anything. But during the holidays, I still used to go back to the shop and sell. I knew I had something to do, so I was never idle. So after that, after the university, we used to go for attachment. So I joined an NGO for my attachment. That is the 4th year attachment. And after that, they absorbed me back for the days I have worked. So they used to pay us for the days we worked, 500 shillings. And in that I got a lot of experience, and I really loved working with community and also people, because we were doing what you call trainings to the farmers. Now after that, the contract ended after 1 year, so I didn't have a job. I decided no, instead of staying where we were staying, we rented a room with my friend who was my roommate for many years in campus. I decided to go home, but I told my dad one thing: when I come back home, I do not want to go back to sell spare parts. I really wanted to be somehow independent. But for that 1 year, a period of 1 year, I didn't have anything much to do. And after that, now, I think I got married.
I'm still wondering, what happened to your bread distribution shop?
We were not able to meet. We were actually given target by Broadway. That is Broadway distribution. So we were not able to continue because I was the vision carrier for that bread. So eventually, they gave to somebody else. The distributor give it to somebody else. But of course, that mentality, when I went to, because I thought it will continue when I come to the holiday, I continue with it. Then when in campus, that time now, I started now thinking of how to do those business that I'm mentioning, because I would buy those electrical items that are needed by the student. Students always have something they need in their room to make their room better. There was some lighting. They used to sell those merchandisers. That's how I started there. And then the canteen, the board of Kiangoma High School sat down and said, because now I'm going to university, and they had trust in me, they had invested in me because they know me, and the principal know me. They don't want me to bring another person. Possibly that person might start sneaking some stuff because they don't know the person. And they said now it will be managed by the school. That's how I handed over to them. So that one ended that way. So whatever was left in Kiahogo Market was only there now, the shop, my mom's shop, and the bread, which now later disappeared because I was not there. I was busy in the university. Then when I was in university, remember, my father got born again. My mother was a very prayerful woman, and we are all going now to ACK. But how they got born again is because of my sister who is in US. My sister used to bring pastors to our house, and every time he would bring a pastor, he would gather all of us to pray, and occasionally he would bring fellowship. So here we are. My mother is born again. My father is born again. My sister is born again. We are. They started preaching to us. Every day, every night, we would sing and read the Word of God. So slowly, the Word of God started growing in us. We started attending the youth and all that. Then when I joined university, of course, I was not born again, but I was a very good church goer and a youth leader in ACK. So one day, we went for a camp during holiday. And at the time now, I gave my life to Christ. So the preacher preached, I think he was preaching about Nicodemus, how can a whole man enter his mother's womb, and how the preacher broke it down. I realized that we need to connect with Christ and to acknowledge, and that's how I got born again. So when we were going back to university, so it was very interesting university that Jeff have got born again. And so many of my friends that you were drinking with and were hanging out with, they came to me, what is it that you got born again? And they thought I was joking. And I left those things and I joined the fellowship. And that's the time I started going to fellowship. Because every Friday, the Christian Union used to gather. They used to gather and fellowships. So as a young person, I was given discipleship. That's where I saw real discipleship, because there are some people who took me with a lot of love. And I remember Brother Ngetich, he took me and he would take me through, he would come to my room, he would take me through how to read the Word of God, how to pray. They would take me to prayers and I would stay at them, because in ACK we would pray for 5-10 minutes. And we are done. We have prayed even for our chief in the area. So they will pray for 3 hours. So I will stay at them. And at the time now, they continued, and I started enjoying praying. I would pray for a bit of time. I'll start reading the Word of God. When they are praying, I'm reading the Word of God. And that's how I got to do that. So now I started admiring choir members. And she was one of them.
And when and how did you get born again?
Personally, I'm one of the people who you normally talk about. When you get born again and people ask you why you got born again, tell them, misi juu kuja nikupeleke. I personally got born again in high school in Form 2, but I can't tell you what I got born again from. Yes, so I got born again in Form 2, and I continued being a Christian Union member. I was also in choir in high school, and back at home I was still. Now I became serious even in my home church, although that time we were not, the people who were born again, we were not allowed to show ourselves that we are born again. Now I belong to Methodist, so in ukai huko, hakuna kuklap. So in church it was so intimidating by the way that time, but I stood and continued being born again. I went to the university when I was still born again, and I became very active. I was in the choir, in the CU choir. I used to be also, we used to have another group, a group of 6 ladies. We used to call ourselves Victory Singers. So we used to do so many presentations. I was also in evangelistic team, that is Mubet, that is for the Meru Brethren in the university. So I found myself very busy, but I'm happy. And I thank God I was busy and active for God in that period. Yeah.
Now so did you go to Nairobi or to Egerton?
No, Egerton. I went to Egerton.
You went to Egerton?
Yeah, I went to Egerton.
And you're also in Egerton?
Yes.
So you are in the process of selling your things?
Yes, so now, you see, I did not stop. Even if I got born again, I did not stop. I had converted my room. That time, every student was staying there in the hostels. My room, some of the rooms had merchandise. So when I'm free, and God has given me a new favor, because understanding academic was not a struggle to me. So when I had a lot of free time, so I would go to Hawk to you know, you like hawking. Merchandise. I would call that's the better word. Merchandise. And most of my customers were ladies.
Yes.
I will go now to, we used to call them box. So we'll go to their box, and they'll buy those immersion heaters, they'll buy those accessories, and I'll have money. So by the time the 5,300, and by the time I'm finished to sell all my merchandise and trading them, I had built my money to about 50,000. About 50,000. So by the time now we are coming to the end of the term, when everybody is broke, I'm the one leading everyone with interest. I'll lead, because I became a Shiloh. Then I bought a camera. I bought a camera so that I would photo. I would photo. So now, I used to, when I joined the CU, and you see how active she was. And since now I'm a young believer, now in Pentecostal, because you see in the CU Christian Union University, more or less Pentecostal. And those guys are very fiery. And they had carried me with that kind of move. And I would see these decent women. All through I had thought in university, because of the other side I had seen in the world, there are no decent women. I would see born again, very humble women, and it started attracting me. The women my mother always talk about, because my mother used to tell me, when you go to university, get a sober woman, very sober, quiet, born again. Now I start seeing them. Before I could not see them, but now I start seeing those girls, and she happened to be one of them. They were singing, and since I like listening, not that I like singing. I love music. Music I love. So one of the things that used to attract me is to go when they are singing. So I would sit there, listen to their music, and meanwhile I'm admiring them. Say, there are people like this in university who are sincere, very well, decently dressed. Then, of course, they became my friends, all of them. And occasionally now I'll pass by her room. And one of the things that usually attracted me is how neat the house was. You know, in our university room, you would enter, you order. But now I'm saying, this is, and this room, the way to look very neat, the way humble they are, the welcoming. They are not tired with anyone. They always prepare a cup of tea for anyone who comes. So that started attracting. And see, they know me as a merchandiser, as a young believer. So me, I used to see them up there. So they are neither near me. So, and then there was those, we used to revere them, the ex-com. We used to call them the senior, they were even calling themselves bishop, those senior preachers in the university. And evangelist, they were calling them the evangelist. Others were calling them pastor, those who are leading the Christian Union. But now us, we are followers, I'm members among the many. So me, I was among the many now. So, and her, plus the team that were there, now those are the people that were working together. So I am admiring her, but she's very far. I am wondering now, how would they even come near me or agree? And I see my heart is attracting to her. And that is how I kept praying. So I shared with that brother called Ngetich. I don't know now, though I got born again, now it's 6 months down the line, I feel my heart is attracting myself to that lady. And I know what you do in this place. You don't say that you have been attracted. You will fall into sin. Start praying. And you fast. So I took it literally. So I was fast and I would pray about it for a whole year.
Fast and pray for a whole year?
Not every day, but I would take time and fast. You see, they are showing me how to do it. And I remember one time, I gathered courage. We had gone to Kilimo. I think we were in the final stages of our exams. And I saw her. She was alone now, going to her room. And me, I was coming from her room, going. And I realized this is the time now. And since they know me now, see, I'm a part of the brotherhood.
Yeah.
So now at the time I went and I confronted her and I talked to her. When I told her that I want to be her friend, she opened her eyes so wide as if she has seen a demon who has ratted. And she said no, and she said, no, you know, you are very young. Actually, she told me, you are very young. I mean, how do you mean I'm young? You have just gotten born the other, but 1 year is gone. And she said, no. In fact, she asked me, especially from a Kikuyu? A Kikuyu? She insisted that. And she told me that what I was really fearing is being rejected. So I told her and I pleaded her, please, whether you say no or yes, please don't tell anyone. Because I knew how brothers used to suffer when they are rejected.
Yeah.
So don't tell anyone, don't even tell your roommate, because I used to know her. Now is Reverend Ruth. She's in Isiolo. I know her. And she kept her word. And I told her, please go pray about it. Me, I have prayed. So you pray about it. If God shows you is okay, if He's tell you no, you come and tell me no. Don't tell anyone. Tell me no or yes. And then we left it after that. Then we stayed, I think, for another 6 months. 6 months or 1 year. There was a lot of breaking. There was a lot of strike that time in university. People wanaenda nyumbani because of strike. There was a lot of that. And we, after we came back, at the time now, I think we met on a fellowship. And then I think we talked. And she said, I think the things we are talking, what did you tell me? I can't remember. I think we can start a relationship. That was my happiest day that night, Bishop. I can tell you I did not sleep. Yes, that's how it is.
So how did, when he came and told you he wants you to be friends, how did you feel?
To be sincere, it was so weird. Because he was already my friend. I had so many friends. And that is the least I expected from him. That is the least that I expected from him. And then I don't know the notion I had about the Kikuyus.
Yeah.
So I asked him, of all the others are Kikuyu. So I told him now, is it, previously I used to, initially there is a, okay, I like parties. No birthday passes me or anything that is entertaining that passes me. So initially I had my birthday. So before that day, not in fact the previous year, so most of my friends came, and he came with those friends. He was one of them. So when they came, I think it was very entertaining. I didn't used to know him so much. So among the group, they asked who will cut the cake with Jane. And the entire group said it is him.
Jeff.
It is Jeff. So it is Jeff. So now tukakata cake ya birthday. We had fun as usual, and after that we had so many other birthdays for other people. So 1 year down the line, he comes back. So I asked him, is it because you cut a cake with me? Yet there are so many things which ran through my mind. Now, so I decided now, I told him now, he told me don't, okay, for whatever answer you want, you will give, please don't share it with anyone. So we were going home the following day, in fact. So I went home and I decided to pray about it. And I took time, serious prayers. And the condition was don't tell anyone. And I also decided, you normally tell us don't broadcast your things, just go to God first and ask for His guidance. So I prayed about it, and after 1 year, I was convinced that he's the right person. And now we continued with our relationship, being friends. And by that time, in fact, most of my friends, especially, most of my friends were like, mimi naona kama siku moja Jeff atakuproposia. That was 1 year down the line. So I told her, by the way, you already did it. So to her it was a shocker, and we continued like that, and that is where we began the journey. It was not smooth, with ups and downs, but we made it. Yes.
So when did you get married?
You hear that we dated that was 1998. The time now I said she agreed that she's going out to become my friend. And here we are now. When we graduated, she said that she'll have to stay for another 2 years. 2 years. I think she said, I have to work for it. I have to find money for myself. After me, I wanted to get married. Immediately after college, I get married. But her, she said, now you have to give me another 2 years. So I came to Nairobi to look for a job. So with some other brethren, we were actually doing hawking here in Nairobi. So because we do not have money, so we'd stay in Gala in a certain car house and we'd hawk. Wengine alikuwa na hawk viatu, mwingine ana hawk padlocks. So anything we find to sell, we would kibizana na kanjo huku. And sometimes, but I was lucky, I was not taken in. Most of the time, my friend, I would hear they have been taken in by the kanjo because of that. But still, we're also looking for a job. That way, I am actually rebelling from my father because my father wanted me to work with him. And it was not easy working with him. It was not a walk in the park. Yes, you see. So it was not in the work in the park. So I wanted to make sure if I get a job, irrespective of my professional background, I'll get a job and do away and learn away from Nairobi, go very far. So one of my friends had this job being advertised at ICA, that is Insurance Company of East Africa. Insurance Company of East Africa, this is the owner is Philip Ndegwa, the former governor, central bank governor. So then we applied. A lot of us, you know how when people graduate, we applied. Then when I went there, because I've been a hawker, I've been a businessman, I went and told them my story in the boardroom. I told them my story. Why do you want to do insurance? No, if I'm able to sell anything that even I did not manufacture, or even insurance I will sell. They wanted management trainees. So they don't care what you have studied, they just wanted management training. So they took us in a group of about 40 of us. And then they took us to training for about 6 months, thorough training. And then we were taking different, so people were choosing later. After that training, you choose which department you want to go to. Some of my colleagues now, they took underwriting, others took investment, others took life insurance. Me, I think I said I want to be in marketing and I want to do general insurance. That is what I said. Then you were told to choose because they wanted to branch out the whole country. Where do you want to be? So I realized, where can I get customer very easily? People who know me in Nyeri town, that's where my father was working, that would be a good starting for me. And they were starting the branch there. So I chose Nyeri. That is where we went to establish a brand new branch for East Africa, ICEA, under first search and security, is to look at how we can, we're in charge of the Mount Kenya region now. So we were given a Suzuki Vitara, and a driver, and some few of us now will go out Mount Kenya, recruiting brokers, talking about the marketing, and that's how I grew in that industry. I grew that industry. Then but 2002, 2001, I had gone visiting her. Every time I would get a salary, the first stop would think, go to see my girlfriend in Meru. So I would board a matatu, go to Meru through Nyanyuki. And you see, that time he did not have a phone. So nitaenda ile inaitwa bahati nasibu. If I write a letter, it will go to their box number in Kobo. So itakuwa, but I knew where they were staying. So I would go, and I had known some people there. So I would go and ask them, are they coming this weekend? Because they used to go to Isiolo to do community work, and they come every weekend. So weekend they were there. So I would go and visit them together with that friend of ours, Ruth. And then they would take me to Bishop Liner's church. That is where every time we would go on Sunday, because they would book me a certain, we used to stay in a certain lodge there. It's called Meru Lodge, something, Meru Lodge. Then they would take me, on Sunday we would go to the Deliverance Church. That's how I come to know about the Deliverance Church. That's why they were fellowshipping together. So we'd go like that. So one day, I was very tired to stay alone. And why I got very tired, because one day I came from field, I was extremely exhausted. I come from Nyanyuki. I met all the shop closed because I would buy a bread and milk and eat because I don't want to cook. So I decided to cook spaghetti. I don't know, I had gone to my sister and my sister gave me spaghetti. So I didn't know how to prepare spaghetti. So now here I'm so tired. So I've entered my room. I put spaghetti boiled with water and put inside. Then I sleep. So what woke me up, the whole room was dark because it had boiled. Ilikuwa inakaa makaa. And I realized this by grace of God, it did not burn inside there because now it was getting to burn. The sufuria had burned completely. And in that midst, that's why I realized staying alone is even risky. So what does this girl in Meru, she told me she will tell me that one day she'll get married to me. She need to get married tomorrow. So that now we can have the following day. I think it was on a Saturday. I boarded a matatu and I went to Meru. And I was very serious. I only bought a biscuit for her. The other time I used to buy something, but I bought a biscuit.
A biscuit?
Yes. A very small packet. Because I was so serious, I wanted her to make a decision whether she want to get married or not. I took her to a certain, that place is called Lock Hill. Lock Hill is like a cave restaurant. On your way, Makutano, up there, there's like a cave called Lock Hill. So I took her there. And that is time now. I asked her, now we have got to be serious. And
you didn't tell her about the spaghetti?
No, I did not tell her a story. Yeah, and I think even her, it had come a time now she needs to settle. And we agreed that day. We'll plan a wedding, August next year. 31st, August 2002, we'll do our wedding. That's how we started our journey.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So all this time, you have been praying. You know He's the one, but in your mind you have not programmed as for when.
I told him it is 2 years after the university, but the date was not set. It was when. But that day when he came, we talked. We decided it will be on this date, and we had an action plan of from 30th working backwards of how things will flow. And for sure, when you put it on paper, it really works. Yeah. So it worked, and we went on that 1st of August 2002. Yes.
Now you're here in Nairobi. What business are you doing in here?
Okay. So I have joined, that is Philip Ndegwa, that is ICA. Now I have grown to be a manager. I started as a supervisor, now a manager. Later I realized that the salary is not enough. And I need a promotion because now I have a wife who is also a housewife by then because she had to leave Meru and come and stay with me. She's looking for a job. That time she had not gotten a job. And in the process of looking for a job, she got a job in Cooperative Bank, and the placement was here in the industrial area. Here I am in Nyeri, now here. So the problem why I married her, it is now not helping because you see, she has gotten a job in the industrial area here, and here I'm in Nyeri. So the same problem, I was running away, came back again. I'm alone there and she's here. That time we were blessed with one kid, Abigail. And now here I am, I'm praying. That time we were fellowship at ACK St. Peter's Cathedral. And that time I was actually I was a youth leader for ACK St. Peter's Cathedral. And we revived we even had a service on our own, youth service. So those are the things that we initiated in that ACK Cathedral. So we were there. So when she got transferred, there was a serious gap. And here I am alone again, and I'm struggling. And all through this, something that was happening in my heart, that I'm building somebody's business. All this award I'm getting, and all the time I used to have a lot of, I was not at peace. In 2007, I remember we had left an award, and I was crowned. I still have that, crowned one of the best upcoming manager in that organization. But I was not at peace. I remember one day I dated her. I said I'm going to date my wife for this. I told her, please, let's have a meeting. And she told me where. She took me to Hilton. Is it Hilton? I think she took me to Hilton. Let's go here. It's a bit quiet. Let's have a meeting in Hilton. And she was wondering what I want to tell her, but I told her I want to resign my work. That time, I was on top of my career there. I have 2007. I have enough money that can keep somebody, but I am not at peace. So that one, of course, shocked her a bit. So they asked me a very tough question. So now, what will happen to us? I know, you know, my salary cannot, all these things we have, I cannot sustain it. Maybe God will provide. I have to get out, I have to try something, and I'm not going to look for a job. Of course, when people heard that I have resigned, so many companies pushed me. And I went to interview to one of the company, but I look at the same scenario. It's like moving from one forest to another one. So there's nothing different. So that piece is not coming back to me. Then I recalled this. There's a time they said, you'll go loud, then you'll come back. And you understand what I'm talking about, that you'll do the business. That time, he had a small office here in Mfangano Street, a very small office. And just a secretary, small, very small. In fact, if you are inside the office, you are inside the mkingia wawili moja lazima kae nje. A very small one. And then one day she called me in the office and they said, now I heard you left the job. Yes. What do you want to do? Me, I want to start my own big company. I want to be bigger like those people I was working for. I mean, oh, go ahead. So I registered VTech Logistics Limited. That's my first company. I registered in 2007. And I started looking for business using it. I wanted to do clearing. I wanted to do so many things, clearing and forwarding. I wanted to do M-Pesa. That time M-Pesa was doing. I wanted to do transport business. I had a list of about 20 business. So, and I was looking for an office. So the place where I found that I can afford is Museum Hill. I put a small container, Museum Hill, a small container. And that part was the business, was the office. The other part, I decided that it's idle. Can it be a shop? So I put a shop there because there are people here asking for items. They would come and buy some things. So it was a shop and the other office. I started looking for business. So the first M-Pesa business, I registered from there.
Okay. So you know, our time is so much gone, and I want to know about Barak.
Barak.
What is this Barak?
Okay.
And where do we find it?
Okay. Sorry.
Okay. I do the business of selling motorcycle spare parts. This is our own product, the Baraka brake shoe. Just like the brake shoes that are in the vehicles, the motorcycles also use the same spare parts, only that the size is different. Now, these ones, we are located at Ambara Road, that is Nyamakema. We are off Kirinyaga Road. We are in a building called Kima Hotel Building. We don't only sell brake shoe, we sell so many products in wholesale, and we also deliver to our clients wherever they are here in Kenya.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. And now we have just about a minute or so.
Yes. Okay.
The business you are doing right now.
Okay. Yes. So now I joined family business, and of course, my mother and they incorporated me as a director in that company. So I reorganized it to be on corporate, kind of a corporate. That time it was a sole proprietor. Now I reorganized it to a corporate kind of, to have a corporate look. What we do is that we partner with service providers. We partner with service providers. Service providers, we're in telecommunication business.
Okay.
Yes, we partner with service provider. Like now, we are one of the main contractor of Safaricom. Of course, we started with Kenya Post and Telecommunication. Now now Telecom Kenya. So we partner with them. We design their solutions. They want to expand their network. So we have a full-fledged department that do the design.
And you're working even outside
Kenya. Yes. So when they do the implementation for them, and then that is what we do, right from the design to commissioning of their project. When we looked at the solution that we have developed locally, we realized that we can replicate it in other countries. So I went about in South Africa. I opened an office there. The first place I went first is Rwanda. We are the people who did Rwanda fiber network.
Okay.
I also opened a branch in Tanzania. Business Tanzania did not pick up, but I went now to Zimbabwe, When people were running away, I saw an opportunity to lay fiber there. So I partnered with Liquid as a service provider. We did the network there, which is still existing. Then I went down to South Africa. In Pretoria, we are the people who have done all the fiber to homes in Pretoria.
Wow.
As Kinde. So currently, right now, in the country, we have 120 permanent staff that work with us. Currently, the current project that we are undertaking right now, which is a flagship, and I think is as a result of your preaching, that we are going to harvest during dry season. I remember you preached here and said that we are going to be like Isaac, who planted in the land of Gerar when there was it was dry season. That time when there was COVID, we were entrusted in one of the projects to do the northeastern. We are doing one of the big projects from Lokicha to Nakodok, 340 kilometers at the World Bank. So we beat everybody else, and that we are the people who are doing that. So currently we are looking on how now we'll get to the next dispensation, whereby the solution we are developing for fiber to homes, because we realized that office has been devolved. So that's the space that we have gotten into, and we have an enterprise department that is able now to connect people so that they can be able to work and also get into what we call virtual reality, which possibly in future can be able to give.
Wow,
yeah.
that is a great thing that you are doing. I want to say thank you so much for accepting to come to be with us and share your story.
Yes.
You see, time moves so fast.
Very fast. Yes.
Our time is so much gone.
Yes.
But I'm sure somebody has been helped just by listening to your story. For our viewers, thank you so very much for being with us. I hope you have gotten something from Jeff and Jane, and their numbers are right there. If you want to call them, this is their contact. Should you want to do business with them, this is their contact. And if you have a motorcycle and you want some spare parts, there is Barak motorcycle spares. You can get in touch, and your life will never be the same again. Once again, this is your pastor and your friend, Bishop Mark Karaoke, coming to you through Open Talk. We will see you again this coming Wednesday. And thank you so very much, Jeff and Jane, for coming and for just speaking out your hearts. May the Lord richly bless you, and may you prosper in whatever you do.
Amen.
God bless you. Have a super night. Amen.